be here with all of you. And John, thanks so much for proving you are the Queen City's best MC. And Chief Willard, it's such a pleasure to have you back in Manchester. I just want to thank you so much for sharing your personal story and sharing stories of what our first responders are dealing with on a daily basis. Thanking them for what they do and for thinking about where our students are and where our children are in our community today and coming up with effective programs to help them lead successful lives. And thank all of you for being here today. All of the proceeds for this breakfast go directly towards medical care for more than 5,000 children in the greater Manchester area. That includes family supports, interpretation, transportation, and so much more. We are truly a community where neighbor supports neighbor, as you've heard many times today. Which brings me to Bernadette Clark. Bernadette is a native of the Virgin Islands. She and her two sons relocated to New Hampshire following the devastation of Hurricane Maria in 2017. Bernadette holds a bachelor's degree in business administration and management from American Intercontinental University and a master's degree in human resources management. In the Virgin Islands, she worked for the Bureau of Corrections as the territorial human resources manager. Bernadette is the mother of two boys and a passionate community volunteer. She lives her life believing that the good you put out through words and actions comes back to you for a greater purpose. Bernadette is a volunteer with the National Guard's Family Resource Center. She is committed to community service through her Zeta sorority. She prepares meals for the homeless and volunteers at her son's school. It is my great pleasure now to introduce Bernadette Clark from Manchester.
Pleasant good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. I feel honored to be introduced by our first female mayor. So I was told that I was going to speak at this event. I was nervous. She said, you have 5 minutes. I said, okay. I was going to write the whole speech, but then I decided that I would do that. I would just speak from the heart, because everything that I've received thus far has been from the heart. You know, so that's what I decided to do this morning. So before we get started, I just want you to take the opportunity to turn to the person next to you, shake hands, and say thank you. Well, as a team-oriented individual, I am a strong believer that together everyone achieves more. Today is a great example of that. Appreciation can be defined as an increase in the value of an asset over time. Appreciation builds a strong company culture and strong relationships. I appreciate everyone in this room. Today it's both an honor and pleasure for me to stand here and tell my story of the greatness experienced through the Manchester Community Health Center and Child Health Services. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that I would be here in Manchester, New Hampshire, treated in my tank tops, 365 days of sun, sand, and sea, from winter boots, shoveling, snow, and the daily question is, what is the temperature today? Is it cold outside? Can I wear flip-flops? Never. But life happens. In September 2017, the Virgin Islands were struck by not only one, but two Category 5 hurricanes in a matter of 12 days. Little did I know that our lives would change forever. Putting all my fears and faith in God, my kids and I boarded a Mercy flight that was headed not to Manchester, but to Atlanta. Then we were told that wherever the flight is going, that's where we stop, and you have to find your way to wherever you're going. I was clueless, but I knew I needed to get out of there because with being devastated with a Category 5 hurricane, no power, no water, no communication, with a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old special needs child in a wheelchair, that was a decision that I had to make at the spur of a moment. We had no idea when we were going to leave, but we knew it was gonna happen. So at midnight, a friend of mine came to my house and said, listen, we heard your name is on the list, so you have to be at the airport at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's midnight, no power, no water. We have to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We did what we had to do, pack what we can, got to the airport, 7 o'clock in the morning, no idea or clue what was going to happen. So we got to the airport, 300 other people at the airport with their bags. Now I'm even more confused because it's like, no plane, 300 other people, when are we gonna get on? There was a list that was compiled, and we went around asking questions, and they said, if your name's on the list, then you move to this side and you're going to be on the next flight that comes in. Luckily, our name was on the list, so we were excited. Yay! We never left the Virgin Islands, we never left St. Croix until 6 p.m. that evening. So we camped out on the airport. Not a worry, because we know I was getting out of there with my kids because I needed to. Then we got to Atlanta, no idea, no clue how we were going to get from Atlanta, but we knew we had to get off the island. Because of my strong faith and belief, we went, got to Atlanta, met some folks from a church that knew of the situation, knew that there were mercy flights coming in, and they were there, prepared to welcome us, take care of us. Okay, we got there. They took us in and said, hey, come on, let's go. I'm like, I don't know these people from anywhere. Scared, I'm like, supposed to like kidnap us, or, I mean, I have no idea. And I'm looking around, and we're the only ones that are leaving with these people on the bus. So I was like, oh my God. What are we gonna do? So I was like, start taking pictures and stuff. Hey, just in case we go missing, somebody saw us, So they took us on the bus. We went to this place. They took us to a church. I was like, what? We're sleeping in a church? Oh my God, this is really crazy. But with all that being said and done, they took really good care of my family and I. They provided for us to ask us, where's our final destination? Where are we going? I said, well, my family lives in Manchester, New Hampshire. And they was like, what? I mean, are you serious? You know how cold it is over there? I was like, well, I have a choice. Freeze my butt off, or have my kids go through the unknown and the Virgin Islands because of the hurricane. They said, no worries. So they took care of us. They booked our flights and shipped us off the next day. So here we are in Manchester, New Hampshire. Have no idea again what's gonna happen. Got here, it's like, I'm happy to be here, but I'm like, I'm cold. I have no idea what's gonna happen. We started looking for schools because my son, my 13-year-old, who has cerebral palsy, needed to, get into school and get the programs going and everything. The first school we went to, they said, yeah, we're special needs, but we can't take him because he's in a wheelchair, so he needs a different level of care. So they pushed us on to McLaughlin Middle School. Got to McLaughlin Middle School, I was so amazed. They were the greatest bunch of people that you would ever find. So they started talking, and I didn't have his IEP because of the hurricane and everything like that. They said, don't worry, we'll take care of that. We'll just get him going, get everything. We started talking about his needs, healthcare, everything. Then she said, oh, I know this great doctor. She does special needs, Dr. Bernadette. I said, awesome, okay, great. Can we get in? She's like, well, I don't know. You have to call because, she's booked up. Great, okay, she gave us the number. We called. They were like, Dr. Bernadette is completely booked. She's not taking any new patients, but leave your name and number. We did, leave our name and number. Then Manchester Community Health Center gave us an appointment for another doctor. So I was like, man, I really want Dr. Bernadette. Lo and behold, never met her before, just heard really great things about her and child health services. So lo and behold, I got a call. Child Health Services, gave us the appointment. I was like, oh man, yes, great. So finally we got in October to see Dr. Bernadette. I walked into the room and it was like a complete calm. She came in the room and said, hey, good morning, hi, how are you? Oh my God, your son. And she started talking and I was like, whoa, what's going on? She just embraced him like she knew him, and automatically he reached out and he hugged her. And that warmed my heart because he doesn't take to every single person. So automatically I knew that what we were receiving was from the heart. talking, she asked, a little bit about his history and everything like that. Right in the middle of finishing what I was telling her about, she said, stop, wait. She leaves the room, comes back with a whole set of people. I was like, what? And everybody's like, what do you mean? How old is he? This, and everybody just started talking. And from there, that's where it started. So it automatically warmed my heart and took me back to the old saying that goes, it takes a village to raise a child. Because as soon as I walked in the room, Dr. Bernadette got her village members to come in and start taking care of me and my son. And from there, that's where it started. I have never, ever had a bad moment at Child Health Services. I met Ann Burgess from Special Medical Services, and everybody here have kids, right? Grandkids? Have you ever seen the cartoon Fairly Odd Parents? You know Wanda, Cosmo. So it's almost the same thing, like Wanda. Right here, she's like amazing. Anything that you need, you just say, hey, Ann, I'm having a problem. Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And she does anything necessary to make sure that all your needs are met. And because of the great team at Child Health Services and the greatness that I've experienced, it has allowed me to warm up to not only Manchester, but everything else that comes with it. And I am so happy, elated, and proud to say that my son would not be who he is or where he is today without the help of the team from Child Health Services. Delani is doing great. He's comfortable. He's happy, and I'm happy because when we go to doctor visits, it's not just about Delani, but she needs to know, am I doing fine? Because if I'm not doing fine, then he won't be doing fine. So I am very proud and elated to say that this is the best health care that my son has ever received. So before I close, I would like to say that, like the old saying goes, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And every day, I carry a little piece of Child Health Services in my heart because they are my go-to persons. I mean, it doesn't have to be about medical. It could be about social. It could be about anything. I call, and even if they're busy, she'll say, I'll call you back, or I'll email you, or I'll get whatever you need. So I'm very comfortable, and I'm very, very, very happy. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in this room, because again, without you, there would be no Child Health Services, there will be no Dr. Bernadette, or Miss Ann, or Kristen, or the rest of the team, and I would not be able to be here today, and my son would not be at the place where he's at. So it's nice to be important, because everyone in this room is important, but it's more important to be nice. And that's exactly what I have experienced from day one. So openly, appreciation goes a long way. It never ends. And I think the most important thing is always to say thank you. And I'm saying thank you to everyone in this room, and thank you to Dr. Bernadette, and thank you to Ann and the rest of the Child Health Services team.